Hey guys, welcome back. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And oh my god, so the Rotten Tomatoes situation has gotten even more ridiculous.
Yes.
And I think we can trace it back to Captain Marvel.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because Captain Marvel, if you've been following this, the want to see score, Captain Marvel has dipped down into the 20s.
Well, it was. It's not showing up now.
It's not showing up now because now Rotten Tomatoes has decided they're going to change the way they present this data, probably because of Captain Marvel. So let's read this blog post that was posted last night. Hello, we're making some changes.
I didn't make changes before when there was a lot of crap going on. Go ahead.
Today, we're excited to start our product update blog. So they just started a whole new blog today.
Oh my god, okay.
Which will allow us to keep you informed of changes and updates on Rotten Tomatoes because Disney made us.
I'm sure. Over
the past 18 months, we've made a number of updates on Rotten Tomatoes, all in the effort to streamline the site and provide users with a more enriched experience.
Okay.
These updates include the launch of a new visual identity, the creation of a new original editorial video and social content, blah, 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 that better reflects the current media landscape.
The media landscape. That better reflects the current media landscape.
Increases inclusion.
What's that even mean?
And more fully serves the global entertainment audience. We're proud of what we've accomplished, but let's get to what you really want to hear about. What you, Disney, really wants to hear about.
We don't know that, but it's odd.
Starting this week, Rotten Tomatoes will launch the first of several phases of updates that will refresh and modernize our audience rating system.
Well, they need to do something, to be fair.
Because we don't like the audience to have a voice. We don't like...
I never understood. 5-star ratings count, but anything under 2 don't count. I'm like, how does that make sense? If it legitimately earned a 1 star because it's garbage, how come you can't give it any less than a 2 or it doesn't count? And all 5 stars, all glowing reviews that can be easily faked as well, count. Go ahead.
I think this is coming from complaints from the studios who think
they do have to change it though.
Yeah, they do, because it is easily gameable, but still, the timing is very suspicious. We're doing it to more accurately and authentically represent the voices of fans.
Wait, is this voices of all fans or just some fans?
The fans who agree with our critics, while protecting our data and public forums from bad actors.
Okay, now I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, because it does happen. I mean, people do deliberately go into to inflate or deflate scores. I mean, you look at She-Ra, it was a clear campaign to inflate the score. Unfairly, because the comments left were just 5 stars, gay rights, 5 stars, no comment, 5 stars, whatever. But I also think the same was true for Doctor Who in the opposite direction. I mean, I don't like Doctor Who, and I agree with people that it sucked, but I think people were definitely targeting it to try to bring the score down, as I think happened with Captain Marvel. But go ahead.
Yeah, so, well, this is why we think it's Captain Marvel.
Oh,
right?
I'm 99% sure it's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because as of February 25th, we will no longer show the want-to-see percentage score for a movie during its pre-release period.
Well, that was stupid anyway.
Why, you might ask? Well, we know the answer. Disney called you. Rotten Tomatoes is probably what happened and said, you're going to tank our box office.
Or far left media were like hammering them, like, why are you letting this happen?
Yeah, because they were talking about the trolling, like every site you went to. Why? People are trolling Rotten Tomatoes.
A lot of the articles coming out were saying that the want-to-see score were audience scores. And I kept saying, no, they're not audience reviews because you can't do them yet. They're want-to-sees. And people kept saying it was an audience review, and that wasn't what happened. And that's what they say here.
Yeah, we found that the want-to-see percentage score is oftentimes confused with the audience score. The audience score percentage, for those who haven't been following, is percentage of all users who have rated the movie or TV show positively, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, positively. Wait, whoa. The audience score percentage, for those who haven't been following, is the percentage of all users who have rated the TV show positively.
Giving a star rating.
Wait, it's 3.5 or higher now?
3.5 or higher. Only shown once a movie or TV show is released.
Oh, that's not like they only count it, but they don't count it if it's under 2 stars, right?
Yeah.
So that's bull.
What you will now see at the top of a movie or TV page once it's released is this. What else are we doing? We are disabling the comment function prior to a movie's release date. Unfortunately, we have seen an uptick in non-constructive input, sometimes bordering on trolling, which we believe is a disservice to our general readership.
We didn't care about your general readership before when you were allowing people to artificially inflate and deflate on other properties. And this thing is, so basically, we got a lot of people who don't want to see it, and they're maybe swaying people to not see it. And some movie company with ears doesn't like that.
Yeah, we've decided that turning off this feature for now is the best course of action. Don't worry, fans will still get to have their say once a movie is released. Audiences can leave a user rating and comments as they always have. Last but not least, you will notice we are making some layout changes to the site. Through our research department, we have learned that our users would prefer a cleaner, less cluttered presentation. We would prefer cleaner, less cluttered reviews from critics who obviously have a bias, but don't worry, the information are still there. And they're making this out like they're doing it for you. I love it when companies do this. We're doing this for you.
For 8% of the people.
We're doing this for you. No, you're doing this because what happened, and they launched a whole blog. What happened was Disney freaked out because they're like,
it wasn't them, it was people involved in the movie did.
Yeah, the marketing department, whoever's involved
we don't
with
know
Captain
for sure
Marvel.
if it was actually the mouse, but
they freaked out because they're like, oh my God, nobody's going to go see this movie now because they're going to look at the one to see and be like, it's garbage and we don't want to go see it.
They had a whole bunch of celebrities weighing in on it and everything else. Like they had Zach Levi from Shazam saying, oh no, don't compare the two movies, because people were saying they'd rather see the real, Captain Marvel and that to be Shazam and stuff like that, and he stepped in, and then other actors were stepping in. The one to see scores really honestly shouldn't have counted towards the audience score, because that's not really an actual review. I mean, why did you just now change that? Because that shouldn't have affected it to begin with. That was just I bet you wouldn't have, I bet if it was 100% audience want to see, they wouldn't have changed it.
No, that's exactly what's going on. They're basically at this point, Captain Marvel is headed for less, I think, than what they predicted for box office, and they're grasping at straws to try to play the blame game. And I think what they're going to do if the movie underperforms, instead of blaming Brie Larson and her mouth, they're going to blame alt-right trolls
and men
for tanking the score. And
there was a lot of women on there too, I just want to say.
Yeah. That's what they're going to do. They're already case building. They know this movie is not going to perform as well as they had hoped for an MCU movie. Now, it's still going to do well. I think it will still do well because it is an MCU movie, but it's not going to do the stellar, Black Panther-like box office they were hoping it would do.
I think Rotten Tomatoes needs to do a better job of making the critic scores and audience scores equal. I'm tired of this whole crap that the critics say, and we all know critics are bought and paid for right and left. That's just the way of the business. Media is bought and paid for. You want to come to our next movie, you better like this movie,
Yeah.
And we know this. So I'm just like, the audience score should honestly weigh heavier than the critic score, because the audience score is people who actually went and saw the movie, and they don't, and that's why you see these big discrepancies between the critic score and the audience score a lot of times when they do these films. Now, the want to see score being not counting, that I don't know why that counted in the first place. And when all these articles were coming out, I kept saying, this is not the actual reviews. These are just want to see scores. That's not the same thing. And the want to see really honestly shouldn't have counted towards the audience score to begin with.
No.
But
I mean, they're hiding it now because what they're God, this is just nuts. And this is all in reaction, I think, to one movie.
You're right.
To one movie.
It's 100%. Because what are they hiding? The want to see scores. And that was all because of Captain Marvel.
It's all because of Captain Marvel.
And the thing is, what makes me mad at Rotten Tomatoes is it's already biased and unfair. If you like a movie, you can give it 5 stars. If you don't like it, you can't give it. If you give it less, you can give it less than 2. It won't count to the score. That is absolute garbage. Yeah. So Rotten Tomatoes need to make all their scores count. And you know what? It doesn't matter what you do. You cannot tell everybody they can't say what they want to say, because so you stop this. Do you think it's going to actually stop the audience scores from being posted when they come out?
No.
Keep in mind, guys, if you post anything below a 2, they won't count it. So I'm just saying, it might stop it for now, but it isn't going to stop it, down the road. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just think it's ridiculous that this is in reaction to one movie. Hey guys, we plan on doing this all along, but we're just going to start a blog and talk about all the changes.
Yeah, just as of today.
Overnight, all these changes we're going to make overnight.
That's what I thought was funny too. Oh, we've been planning this, but we just happen not start it until right now.
No, we've been planning it since we heard from the marketing people dealing with Captain Marvel that we could potentially be responsible for helping tank their movie, and gosh, it would be a shame if something bad happened to Rotten Tomatoes.
They didn't care if people tanked other things.
No.
They didn't care then.
Well, that's what tells me this is all about Captain Marvel, because there were other movies and TV shows that were subjected to this kind of, quote unquote trolling, and they didn't take such drastic measures. Captain Marvel, though, has several articles and YouTube videos done about its plummeting want to see score, and now all of a sudden there are changes.
Right.
But it's done for you, audience. This is done for you.
They didn't do anything about scores that are artificially inflated, and obviously so. There's no stop there. So it's okay if you artificially inflate something.
Right.
It's not okay if you and it's okay if you tank something that's not like a big thing like Captain Marvel. Doctor Who, I agree. I don't think Doctor Who is good. I don't like it, but I do think that there was a campaign to tank the score on it.
Yeah, and same with, like you said, with She-Ra, it was the opposite.
Yeah,
they were trying to inflate it.
They said, I'm coming from Tumblr.
Yeah.
Go gay rights. And it was clearly a campaign, and nothing was done about those things.
Well, there's no way to weed out who has actually seen a movie or not, and who's there just to troll.
But at this point, even if you're honest, that can be considered trolling because the certain people don't agree with you that it was only a number. It was only at 1 or a 2. Yeah. So you're just a troll.
If
it's
you
maybe you legitimately didn't like it because
right.
it was a crap movie. Maybe it was a crap show. You're not allowed to even have an opinion. The fact that points anything below a 2 doesn't count at all is absolutely ridiculous. Then it's harder to lower a score. That legitimately deserves to be lowered because you can't give it anything less than a 2.
Yeah, I mean this is like the ultimate bell curve, right? Like a movie can't fail. It can't fail. The worst it can get is a C.
Yeah, basically they set it up so that you can't even tell the truth anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, if you ever needed more proof that Rotten Tomatoes means jack shit to the average moviegoer at this point, this is proof. Because really, what's going to happen, I think, before it's all said and done, is only verified critics are going to be able to have their opinion and they're going to aggregate. I would not be surprised if they didn't take the audience score off of the site completely at some point.
Or you can score it, but it's not going to count towards the freshness. And then, like we saw before, like with Alita and different things like that, there are clear biases. There's clear biases in a lot of these. What studio paid off who? And it happens all the time. We know for a fact, working in media, this happens. It's
0 comments. I can't imagine that this hasn't gotten comments. Are they filtering the comments?
Probably.
Because this seems really weird. I'm just gonna be like surprised because there's been
look angry. Oh, there now you can see it.
Angry.
Yeah.
But there have been no actual comments.
Well, that's because they're not
letting people post comments.
Angry. So the anger is most of what the responses have been. About more than half of the responses.
Yeah.
More like 3/5 of the responses have been anger because it's ridiculous.
This is such a sham. Rotten Tomatoes is worthless. I mean, it really is at this point.
Yeah, and the thing about Captain Marvel, if Captain Marvel fails, it's going to be because people
Brie Larson shoot your mouth off.
Because the promotion for the movie, instead of going about what has made the movie good, they instead chose to promote it as hero and immediately put people off like, oh, here we go. They right from the get-go, she's the strongest, she's the fastest, she's the bestest, she's the most overpowered superhero Marvel has to offer. And that immediately turned people off. Because they're like, I don't want to see someone who's overpowered. I just want a good movie. And then Brie Larson. And she keeps saying things that that really shouldn't say. I mean, come on, common sense, Brie.
Yeah, where was the Marvel marketing machine? Okay, if they can put the pressure on Rotten Tomatoes, why can't they put the pressure on Brie Larson to stop talking and alienating?
Because she's a woman standing up for minorities, so that they do that. They're the big bad. It's like if you know somebody, it's like when you see somebody and you know that they're full of crap, or you know they're cheating, or you know they're every kind of garbage under the sun, but everybody else is like, oh, they're so great, they're so great, they're so great, and you know it. But you can't say anything, because if you say something, then you're the bad guy, then you're the jerk, even though they're a cheater pants, lying sack of crap, doesn't matter. You're the jerk if you say something. And that's what's happening here. I think they can't say anything because, well, if we do, we're picking on a woman. We're picking on minorities because she's standing up for minorities. And
she's a blonde woman.
I know. Typical what they say. These ones
taking a job from what should have been an African American woman.
If she did not,
as Monica Rambeau.
Even if she refused, that doesn't mean Marvel would have cast an African American woman. But I'm just saying.
Well, that's true. No.
I'm just being fair
like,
here.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. Even when she did the thing where they had a video of her talking about what she'd said, and she's just like talking about it, she's like, I don't hate men. Sort of rolling her eyes. You couldn't get any more, obvious.
She didn't refer to them as men. She called them white dudes.
White dudes.
That would be like. Could you imagine if a male actor said, "Yeah, I don't hate black chicks."
Yeah.
Could you imagine what would
I
happen?
know. And
Could you imagine what would happen?
Everything, body language and everything, short of rolling her eyes, was completely obvious that she did not believe that at all. She was just saying because she had to. And it's just like, you know what? Have some class, Brie. I'm just like, you can do what you want to do. You can be an advocate. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be, see, this is advocacy,
a form of advocacy,
a form of, that kind of thing, activism. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with it is you want to use that. You need to do it in a positive way. And maybe wait till after the movie comes out and before you could ruin the box office. And maybe wait till you get, like I said before, you get it out and it does well. And then you can say, okay, great. Now that it's doing well, let me tell you about this clause I had in my contract and how we hired a lot of minorities to work on this and how I want to push that in the future. That's how you do it. And then people have been like, you know what? That's a good idea. Look how well he did. Look how well these people of color did at the Oscars and stuff like that, winning for costume design and set design and stuff like that. Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. Let's push for that together. But no. I don't want some 40-year-old white dude telling me they don't like about A Wrinkle in Time. Well, here's a 40-some-year-old white woman. Wrinkle in Time sucked. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I'm floored. I'm floored that this all happened. I'm not, well, no, I'm floored for one movie. This happened for one movie. I mean, we can try to spin it, that they had this in the works, but no, this was a very hasty decision.
They'd be like partly for the process by now if it was in the works.
Yeah, it's, hey guys, we're just starting a blog today after it hits YouTube and the media that Captain Marvel is being tanked.
You'd already had the blog. You already had the stuff rolling out already if that was the case.
So we're gonna watch this. And see where this goes. I do think before it's all said and done, I wouldn't be surprised if Rotten Tomatoes just nicks the audience score altogether.
Probably.
Just to cave into studio pressure, because I think that's where we're headed. And again, this just drives home the point that we've been trying to make about Rotten Tomatoes, that Rotten Tomatoes is a tool the studio uses to market its films.
Right.
It used to, at one point in time in the past, be an accurate representation, I think, of where critics and audiences really were. But now, most social media, most platforms, especially when you're dealing with companies like Disney or DreamWorks or whatever, they are viewed as marketing tools. They're viewed as marketing tools.
They are.
And this is basically just an advertisement for the studios at this point. I mean, look at this. It's just a big circle jerk of the Oscars, It's a Hollywood marketing tool.
Yep,
so
much.
It is what it is. So if you, use Rotten Tomatoes, just be aware that they're absolutely, I think, bought and
and
paid
if you've
for.
seen Alita, go give it positive reviews.
Yeah. Are you allowed to?
Yeah, apparently 5 stars count. It's anything under 2 that does not. So keep that in mind. If you give something a score as under 2, they're not going to count it towards the score anyway. Pretty soon it's going to be you can't say anything unless it's a 5 or 4. You can't give a review.
Yeah, I think it's what's going to happen.
If you can't say anything nice.
Yeah, if you can't say anything nice.
Go on to YouTube. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, they're trying to crack down YouTube too. I mean, it's insane. It is insane. So I guess we're going to wrap this one up. And we'll talk more about Rotten Tomatoes as more becomes uncovered, I think, with this situation. Please subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.